Here's the truth. Even if you hate Amazon, even if you swear you'll never sell on eBay, your competitors are already there. And every day you sit out, they're eating your lunch. In 2024 alone, almost 21 billion worth of auto parts were sold on Marketplace. That's nearly half of the entire online market. Ignore that and you're not making a stand, you're just making a donation to someone else's revenue. If you're new here, this is part 4 of our 5-part series on how to sell more auto parts online. We've already broken down the fundamentals you need, scaling ads, and driving organic traffic. In this episode, we're tackling the beast that every brand struggles with, selling more parts on marketplaces without killing your margin. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss part 5, where we'll cover how to turn marketplace buyers into lifetime customers. But today, it's all about battlegrounds of Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. So let's start with the obvious question. Why do marketplaces matter in 2025? Because they're not just side channels. They are core sales engines with built-in demand, and the numbers prove it. Marketplaces aren't side channels anymore. They are the market. In 2024, US shoppers spent $42.4 billion buying auto parts online. And here's the kicker. Almost half of that, $20.7 billion, happened on marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. If you're not there, you are ignoring half the pie. And this isn't slowing down. Globally, the automotive e-commerce space is projected to jump from $96.8 billion in 2024 to $113 billion in 2025. That's a 17% leap in 1 year. Long term, heading towards $275 billion by 2032. And the point is clear. Buyers are already trained to look for parts online. More of them are starting their journey on Marketplace. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Over 56% of US shoppers still start product searches on Amazon, not Google, not your website. Amazon is the new front door. But, and this is the curveball, Gen Z is shifting. By March 2025, 30% of Gen Z shoppers were starting on Google, up from just 21% 6 months earlier. Amazon's share dropped from 41 to 34% in that same window. So the youngest buyers are changing the game again. What does that mean for you? It means you can't think of marketplaces as cannibalizing your direct-to-consumer site. Done right, they expand your reach. They grab the customer who starts on Amazon at midnight and give you insights you can use to sharpen your Google strategy next morning. Think of marketplaces as the world's most expensive focus group. Yeah, except you actually get paid to run it. Every review, every search query, every conversion is data you can feed back to your DTC marketing. That's why marketplaces matter in 2025. And once you buy into that idea, the next question is obvious. Which marketplace is right for your catalog? That's where we're headed next. Even my kid knows where to find parts online. Doesn't go on Google. Yells, "Dad, check Amazon app." That's how ingrained Amazon is to our culture. Once you buy into marketplaces, the next question isn't if you should sell, it's where. And here's the thing, Amazon, eBay, and Walmart aren't interchangeable. They're different neighborhoods in the same city. Each one has its own traffic patterns, price wars, and type of buyer. Pick the wrong neighborhood and you are the shop that nobody walks into. Start with Amazon. Amazon is about velocity and visibility. Amazon is a freeway gas station, high traffic, high volume, but ruthless competition. It's where your fast-moving SKUs thrive. Think of oil filters, brake pads, batteries, anything prime shoppers can grab fast. The fees are steep, about 12% referral plus fulfillment, but the trade-off is scale. And if you win the buy box, you're basically printing sales. Now, the catch, one slip on price or fulfillment, and your competition takes the cart button away from you. Next is eBay, the swap meet. eBay is the swap meet of the internet. It's not where you dump fast movers, it's where you sell the long tail. Rare parts, used parts, refurb, niche SKUs with fitment specificity. And eBay leans into that with programs like Guaranteed Fit, which reduces returns and builds trust. If Amazon is about velocity, eBay is about margin control. Fewer fees, fewer sharks, and customers who actually read the details before buying. Then you've got Walmart Marketplace. the underdog that's not really an underdog anymore. The fees are competitive, and Walmart has been rolling out seller incentives like fulfillment support and fee waivers to lure the new merchants. Case in point, Priority Tire restructured their sponsored products campaigns on Walmart and saw a surge in sales and impression. And Walmart's omni-channel edge, like ordering tires online and booking installation in store, makes it a serious threat in auto. But here's a trap across all three: the race to the bottom on pricing. If you let yourself get pulled into endless price cuts, you'll bleed out. The smarter play? Differentiate. Build your brake pads with install hardware. Create SKUs that aren't easy to compare one-to-one. That's how you defend your margin in a world where everyone has the same catalog access. So now you know where each marketplace shines. But picking the neighborhood is just the start. Once you're in, accuracy becomes life or death, because one bad fitment field can undo everything you built. Let's talk about why product data and compatibility aren't just technical details. They are survival. On marketplaces, your product data is your salesperson. If it's sloppy, it's like sending a drunk mechanic out to greet your customer. Doesn't matter how good the part is, they are walking out the door. Fitment equals life or death. Fitment is everything. Amazon and eBay both run on structured fitment data, ACs and PI standards that map your parts to make, model, year, and trim. Get it wrong, and you're not just dealing with a return. You are dealing with a 1-star review that lives forever and tanks your ranking and tells future buyers you don't know what you're doing. It's like torque specs. Too loose and the wheel comes off. Too tight and you strip thread. Either way, the job is ruined. Fitment data no different, optimizing titles that convert. Titles aren't for poetry, they are for clarity. The winning formula? Brand plus part type plus key specs plus fitment plus MPN or OEM reference. Why? Because that's exactly how buyers type into their search bar. Nobody's searching for premium performance stopping solution. They search for 2014 Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi brake pad. That's what they're looking for. Leverage structured data and compatibility fields. Amazon's automotive part finder and eBay's guaranteed fit exist for one reason: buyers demand clarity and certainty. Plug into those tools with clean ACs and PIs data, and you not only reduce returns, you win trust, and trust converts. Handling multi-fit SKUs. Here's the landmine: multi-SKUs. Sure, one alternator might technically fit 5 vehicles, but if you jam all of them into one messy title, you confuse the buyer and the algorithm. The smarter play? Create clean variations or separate listings that make the fit crystal clear. Confused buyers don't click buy now, they bounce. So we have nailed why fitment is survival and how product data becomes your sales rep. But clarity alone doesn't protect your margins, because every marketplace comes with hidden costs, referral fees, fulfillment, and returns. And if you don't price strategically, you can sell a ton of parts and still lose money. Let's talk about how to stay competitive without racing to the bottom. If this is hitting home, smash that like button so YouTube knows to put this in front of more aftermarket folks. It helps the channel, and it tells me that you want more tactical deep dives like this. Selling on marketplaces isn't hard. Selling profitably, that's the real deal. Because every sales comes with a silent tax, referral fee, fulfillment costs, return, and the ad spend you need to stay visible. If you don't engineer your margins up front, you can move a ton of parts and still lose money. The fee reality check. Let's start with the math. On Amazon, most automotive parts carry about a 12% referral fee. Add in FBA, which includes storage, pick and pack, shipping, and you're closer to 15 to 18% all in. On eBay, expect 13 to 15% final value plus about 30 to 40 cents per order. Those percentages might not sound like much, but when you're moving high volume SKUs at thin margins, that's death by 1,000 cuts. You don't lose margin because Amazon charges fees. You lose it because you didn't plan for them. Dynamic pricing versus manual babysitting. Too many sellers babysit prices, changing them by hand every day. That's a losing battle. Your competitors are running repricers that adjust in real time. The smarter play: use dynamic pricing with rules. Stay competitive, protect your margin floors, and let the system fight the penny worse for you. As an analogy, think of it like a gas station on a busy corner. If one drops price by a dime, the others follow. The smart operator doesn't just slash blindly. They adjust strategically while still making a profit per gallon. Bundles, the hidden margin engine. Want to beat the race to the bottom? Don't lower your price, raise your value. Bundled price pads with install hardware. Package filters with oil. When you sell bundles, you create SKUs that competitors can't directly compare, and you lift your average order value without cutting your throat on price. Fixing ad waste before cutting price. Here's a mistake sellers tend to make. They freak out about high ACOS and immediately slash prices. Wrong move. 9 times out of 10, the problem isn't your margin, it's wasted ad spend on bad keywords. Clean up your campaigns before you cut your prices. It's faster margin recovery and keeps your brand positioning strong. So now you have priced smart, built in your fees, and defended your margins with bundles. But here's the kicker. None of it matters if you're buried on page 3. On marketplaces, visibility is survival. And ranking isn't about stuffing keywords, it's about who converts. Let's talk about marketplace SEO and why faster shipping might matter more than your copywriting. Most brands think SEO is about stuffing keywords in title. Wrong. Amazon and eBay, ranking isn't about what you write, it's about how well you sell. Conversion rate, shipping speed, and reviews often matter more than your copy. Amazon's so-called 8-10 algorithm looks at who gets the buy box most often. That means your price, fulfillment speed, and stock levels and seller performance. Amazon rewards what sells, not what sounds clever. eBay's Cassini is similar, but with a twist. It rewards relevance and listing quality, such as crisp titles, clear compatibility data, and photos that actually show what part looks like. You can't hack your way around. You've got to serve the buyer. Logistics equals SEO. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Faster shipping is the new keyword. You can have the best written listing in the world, but if you can't ship fast, you are buried. That's why FBA and eBay's Fast and Free badge gives sellers a built-in ranking edge. Reviews aren't just social proof, they are SEO fuel. Amazon's algorithm reads them for keywords and uses them to judge conversion likelihood. That's why the most powerful copywriter you have is actually your customer base. And don't sleep on visuals. Amazon says adding A+ content can lift conversion rate by 3 to 10%. Agencies like Bellavix have documented even bigger jumps in conversion rate, anywhere from 5 to over 200% depending on the SKU. That's the difference between breaking even and scaling profitably. Mining real buyer keyword. This is where most sellers get lazy. They guess keywords. Don't. Pull them straight from Amazon's search reports or eBay's buyer queries. Real buyers don't type high performance filtration system. They type in 2014 Ram 1500 Hemi air filter. Speak their language, not yours. Finally, photos. Think of product photography as your CTR level. High res, multiple angles, maybe even installation shots. Rich content isn't a decoration. It's a ranking factor because it drives clicks and conversions. And conversions fuel visibility. So you have optimized your titles, mined real buyer keywords, and layered in A+ content. That'll get you seen. But here's the truth. You can't climb to the top of Amazon or eBay on organic alone. To defend your bestsellers and launch new SKUs, you need paid ads as both your offense and your defense. Let's talk about marketplace advertising. On Amazon and eBay, organic SEO will only take you so far. If you want to defend your bestsellers and launch new SKUs, you've got to pay to play. Ads aren't optional. They are table stakes for visibility. Think of marketplace ads as 2 buckets, defense and then offense. Defense is about protecting your turf. Sponsored products on your bestsellers keep competitors from hijacking your keywords and stealing your buy box. Offense is about climbing the rankings. When you launch a new SKU, ads are your jet fuel, forcing visibility until organic conversions kick in. On Amazon, sponsored products are the workhorse. They drive the majority of ad sales. They're like shopping ads on Google. Meanwhile, sponsor brands help you push your logo and catalog awareness. And if you want to chase buyers off Amazon, DSP retargeting lets you follow them across the web. And Auto Parts Selling, working with Seller Co., used Amazon's marketing stream to adjust bids by time of day and placement. The result, 29% sales growth in just 2 months and top 10 ranking in brutally competitive category. That's the power of offense and defense combined. On eBay, promoted listings put you on top of the search results. But here's the nuance. They're not worth it for every SKU. Use them where you already have fitment accuracy and margin to absorb the ad fee. Promoting a messy listing is like putting a billboard on a car with no engine. You're just paying for attention that won't convert. And don't sleep on Walmart. Priority Tire leaned into Walmart sponsored products, restructured campaigns, and saw a big jump in both impressions and sales. Walmart sweetens the pot with seller incentives, sometimes waiving fees, subsidizing fulfillment to pull brands into their platform. Less competition means your ad dollars stretch further here. Amazon alone pulled in nearly $47 billion ad revenue last year. That tells you one thing: your competitors are already spending. If you're not running marketplace ads, you're basically buying billboards for them. But here's the catch: ads can only drive demand if you can fulfill it. Stockouts don't just lose you today's sale, they bury your ranking tomorrow. And that means the next battleground is inventory and fulfillment. If you're serious about scaling your parts business on marketplaces and want help building a strategy that actually protects your margins, check the link in the description and grab a free Scube game plan. That's where we break down your current setup, show you how to grow profitably. Advertising can get you clicks, SEO can get you seen, but if you're out of stock, too slow to ship, it's game over. Marketplaces don't reward brand, they reward logistics, and fulfillment is the hidden lever that decides if you rank or if you disappear. Let's talk about FBM versus FBA. FBM, fulfilled by merchant. You keep parts in your own warehouse and ship orders yourself. More control, but more responsibility. FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. You send inventory into Amazon's warehouse. They handle the boxing, shipping, and Prime badge. The trade-off: fees are higher, but fast delivery boosts your ranking. It's like deciding whether to service cars in your own garage or rent a bay at a dealership. In one, you control the whole process. In the other, you pay for access to traffic and trust. Delivery speed equals ranking fuel. Marketplace algorithms don't care about your brand store. They care about delivery promises. Can't ship fast, you don't win the buy box. Amazon literally bakes Prime eligibility into its ranking formula. eBay does the same thing with fast and free. Faster shipping isn't a convenience, it's SEO. Here's the counterintuitive truth: going out of stock today doesn't just lose today's sales, it hurts your ranking tomorrow. On Amazon, the algorithm buries you. On eBay, if you don't enable out of stock protection, your listing history resets after 30 days. But if you do, eBay keeps your URL and sales history alive for up to 180 days. So protect that ranking like your life depends on it, because it does. Then here's Walmart's secret weapon: the omni-channel. Priority Tire sells tires on Walmart.com, and buyers can book installation at Walmart Auto Care Centers, online to offline in one click. That's the fulfillment advantage Amazon and eBay can't easily replicate. For auto parts sellers, that's huge. And if you're selling across multiple marketplaces and your DTC site, syncing inventory is non-negotiable. Oversell once and you get slapped with cancellation. Enough cancellations, your account health tanks. Use multi-channel tools to keep stock tight and your metrics clean. So we have nailed why inventory and fulfillment are make or break. But what happens when you do everything right and someone else hijacks your brand? Counterfeiters, unauthorized sellers don't just steal sales, they poison your reputation. That's why the next battleground is brand protection. You can do everything right, nail your shipment, keep inventory tight, win the buy box, and still get crushed by counterfeiters and rogue sellers. The sale they steal is bad enough, but the real damage: 1-star review from part you didn't even sell that sticks to your name forever. Amazon's own 2024 brand protection report shows the scale. 99% more of suspected fake listings were blocked before they went live. 15 million counterfeit products were seized or destroyed, and 2.5 billion units were verified through Amazon's transparency program. That's not theory, that's the battleground. And if you're not enrolled in brand registry or transparency, you're playing defense with one hand tied behind your back. Brand registry gives you the tools to control your content, move bad actors, and protect your catalog from hijacking. More than 88,000 brands are using it, from Weber Grills to niche sellers like Palou's brand, to enforce listings and keep product pages clean. And if you're serious about marketplaces, this isn't optional. It's step one. Then there's MAP. If one unauthorized seller drops below your minimum advertised price, your margins everywhere start collapsing. Marketplaces don't police that for you, you have to. Use monitoring tools, track violations, and act before your price floor erodes across channels. Remember, brand protection isn't just about chasing counterfeiters. It's about controlling the customer experience. If shoppers don't trust that part in the box is the one they ordered, you have lost before the wrench even hits the bolt. So you've locked down your brand, you're keeping fakes off your listings and protecting your margins. Here's the question: how do you know which SKUs are truly profitable and which ones are silently draining you? That's where analytics and measurement comes in. Here's the brutal truth: sales volume means nothing if you're not making money. Marketplaces make it easy to brag about the top line revenue, but if you're not tracking profitability per SKU after fees, fulfillment, ads, and returns, you might be busy, but you're broke. Amazon's 12% referral fee, eBay's 13 to 15% cut, plus fulfillment and returns. Those numbers add up fast. You've got to model contribution margin per part. Don't just ask, what did we sell? Ask, what did we actually keep? Because at the end of the month, only margin pays the bills. It's like quoting a brake job for $200, buying 180 worth of parts and paying your guy $50 to install. On paper, you're busy, but in reality, you're underwater. Here's the counterintuitive win. Marketplaces aren't just a sales channel. They are a lab. Every review, every search query, every conversion is market research. Customers literally tell you how they describe parts. 2014 Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi brake pads. And that language is gold for your D2C site, your Google ads, even your packaging. Does Amazon lift sales or just shift them from your website? Don't guess, test it. So how? Run geo holdouts. Pause ads in one region, track whether D2C orders rise or fall. That's how you prove incremental sales. Otherwise, just assuming. And don't just wait until sales tank to check your catalog. Audit your SKUs quarterly. Front-end problems such as bad photos or sloppy bullets often explain poor sales more than ACOS or pricing. Sometimes the fix isn't more spend, it's better content. So now you're tracking profit per SKU, mining marketplace data, and running incrementality tests. That's how you play like a pro. But most brands never get here. Let's be real. Most brands fail on marketplaces not because the channel doesn't work, because they step on the same landmines over and over. Here are the traps you can't afford to fall into. Mistake number 1, copy and pasting D2C pages. Copying your Shopify product description straight into Amazon or eBay, it's like showing up to a NASCAR race with a bicycle. Wrong track, wrong rules. Marketplaces demand structured data, fixed fields, compatibility tags, image standards. Skip that and you'll get buried or suppressed. Mistake number 2, over-relying on marketplaces. Marketplaces can double your revenue, but they should never be your revenue. You don't own Amazon's customers. Amazon does. Treating marketplaces as your only channel is like building a house on a rented land. It's great until the landlord changes the rules. Mistake number 3, ignoring customer service metric. Most sellers obsess over price and ads, but forget the basics. On Amazon and eBay, your response time to customer questions impacts your ranking. Blow off one buyer's message and the algorithm punishes you. It's not just customer service, it's SEO. Mistake number 4, fighting returns instead of planning for them. Returns are built into the game. eBay even mandates free returns for most parts now. Fighting them kills your seller rating and tanks your rank. Bake returns into your margin model instead of treating them like one-off battles. Mistake number 5, not building an owned audience. Marketplace buyers are borrowed traffic. Finding ways to turn them into your audience, such as warranty registrations, product inserts, post-purchase content that complies with terms of service, you're leaving money on the table because the real profits come from lifetime value, not one-off sales. The bottom line, marketplaces will expose sloppy operators fast. If you treat Amazon like your D2C site, ignore service metrics, or rely on them as your only channel, you're setting yourself up to fail. But if you play smart, you'll not only sell more parts, you'll turn marketplaces into a profit engine. So we have covered the mistakes. Now let's zoom out and close this loop. Why marketplaces aren't side hustles, but half of the market, and how they fit into the bigger strategy of building lifetime customers. Here's what most brands get wrong about marketplaces. They treat Amazon and eBay like side hustle, but these aren't extra channels. They're half of the market with built-in demand, search intent, and scale. Amazon is all about velocity and visibility. If you win the buy box, you can scale fast, but takes discipline not to drown in fees, returns, and razor-thin margin. eBay is about reach and margin control. It's where you move the long tail, rare SKUs, refurb, fitment-specific parts that don't fit nearly into Amazon world. Less competition, better control, buyers who actually read the details. Walmart, it's the dark horse. Competitive fees, seller incentives, and omni-channel advantages like tire installation in store. Less crowded, more upside. If you're early, you'll set the pace. But here's the reality check. As powerful as these marketplaces are, you don't own them. You're renting access. One algorithm tweak, one policy change, and you're exposed. That's why the smartest brands use marketplaces as growth engine, not foundations. Drop a comment below with the marketplace you're selling on, Amazon, eBay, or Walmart. I read everyone, and it helps me to know where to go deeper in the future videos. And don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss part 5 on email and text, the step where we turn marketplace buyers into lifetime customers. And that's where we go next. Because while Amazon and eBay bring in sales, your real profits come in from owned channels. In part 5 of our series, How to Sell More Parts Online, we'll cover how to turn a $50 marketplace buyer into a $500 lifetime customer using email and text. Marketplaces are where you capture demand. Owned channel, you build wealth. Don't miss it.